Now, how can we hire 210 people? I guess we'll find out when we see the numbers, when we're having a state that's running a $10, $15 billion budget because of who to listen to. That's a concern I have.
Yeah. And Ron,
Mr. Chair.
yes.
It includes the augmentations,
Yeah.
which are not recommended.
Okay. Larry?
Thank you. My question is probably a little more basic so that I understand where we're headed. Now, we're going to listen to requests that are coming in. The 200 that we're talking about here, are they already, these are already people that they have requested that are in here? So we don't know if some of these that you are recommending for inclusion in that 200 or that they are not, that you did not recommend for inclusion into here. So I'm just saying that so we don't listen to or talk about the same number twice. Are the ones that we're going to listen to now being included within the budget number as number of employees?
In other words, the people that are going to come up and make presentations, they're going to have requests. I would assume that they're requesting things that weren't approved. That's why they're requesting. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a need to request it. Is that
Correct.
pretty clear? So something? No, they were not approved, Larry. They're not in.
They were not approved, but of the 200 that have been requested that are funded that are not basically hired, now then we've got to bounce back to see if they've been approved within the allocation but not basically hired. I mean, they're included within the fund for the budget, but they're not. Does anybody follow me on this damn thing?
No. Well, I think the concern here for me, Larry, is this. There are going to be requests today for positions.
Right, but I'm
All right.
saying, I just don't know where that position is.
Okay, but
Yeah.
just a second. We have positions that were not filled before. They're not, and they may not be filled again this year. We don't know that. Many of them have been reclassified to a different level during this budget process already. And so they're at a higher level of pay. Of course, they're not getting paid because there's nobody there. My concern is we have these positions that are funded and empty over here, and then we have people that need some bodies on the other side over here but have not been approved, and they can't approve them because the money to pay for some of them are locked in these other unfilled positions on the other side. That may be some of the concern we have on this side is which positions should be allowed. I suppose that's what you've gone through and looked at and approved or whatever. And and perhaps that's the struggle we're going to have today. It always is every year. We have unfilled positions over here on one side of the ledger that are funded. There's money for them, but yet we have these others that seem to be very desperate for these positions, but they're not getting funded. Meanwhile, we have empty slots sitting over there. And that's kind of the struggle we're going to have. Is there a way to deal with that? So that's part of the deal. All right? Any other questions right now?
So shall we
We'll
start
find out.
the adjustments? Are there any questions?
Do we have any feel from the state as to, did at least give any indication how they are going to come up, whatever those billions of dollars that they're short? It ranges everything from 4 or 5 to as much as 17, depending on the governor's schemes. And I just wonder how much effort we're putting into this at this point that really will become moot at the moment that that budget is issued.
I think most of the departments estimated based on the direction they've gotten from their funding agencies that are funded by the state. But no, there are only a few items, as I recall, that the governor, the Assembly, and the Senate concur on. And when I say hearing city, I'm assuming that means conference committee. I don't, at this point, see a lot of consensus. I don't know, Gary, you're closer to it than I am.
There's no consensus. There's no consensus. There hasn't been much feeling of of the need to move this along quicker. There doesn't seem to be any of that in Sacramento, and it's like, well, it's another budget deal, another budget battle on the deal. And the number, Larry, is 17.2 billion. That's
And what I'm
Liz
saying
Hill,
is,
the governor's
and I
office,
just
and the
wonder
jury.
that we're going to go through this and listen to these budget requests, and we have no concept of what really we're going to end up with at the end.
That's not,
I'm not,
I don't think that's exactly true. I think there's a great deal that is pretty well known, a great deal of stuff. And there's some stuff that is not in some programs, IHSS being one, in the sheriff's area, there are several things on the block, in other departments, the same type of thing. But I think they've calculated for those types of things and what the climate has been in the past and what it is now. So
We have to come up with a reasonable budget at this time based on our best information, and then
we'll
when
adjust.
the money comes in, we'll cut or add or whatever.
It's a living document, so,
I just question the time.
yeah. Well,
course, with a couple-
we have requirements we have to meet. They have requirements that they're supposed to meet and rarely do. So we're kind of in a different boat, although we're in the same regatta, I guess you'd say.
I suggest we move on. We can talk this thing to death. And
All right.
I have given you a spreadsheet that's called proposal to balance, just so as we go along through this process, if you want to keep tabs. My intent at this point is to bring you a proposal to balance a week from Tuesday.
Let me ask you, Roberta, on this proposal to balance here, you have general fund augmentations for spending consideration. Now, these that are listed there's two-thirds of a page and then half of a page.
Right.
These are not in the budget currently.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
And if all of them added together would equal $1.3 million. So we would have to do all of these, we'd have to come up with
Well, actually, it would be 1.1 because currently,
you have 161,000
right.
left from your. So that's what we got to work with, right?
Correct.
Okay. Does everybody understand that? Larry and Joe? These things on this sheet, the bottom two-thirds and everything on this side, has not been included in the budget.
which one we're at? From here?
This page here. Everything where it says general fund
Yeah,
augmentations.
that's why it's in red.
Well, yeah, well, there's things in red up above that are already in there, but none of these things below where the red or in black are included in the budget. So we have to figure out what we want to do here.
It's only $1 million one.
Yeah.
We're all hands at this.
Only $1 million. Okay. Let us begin then.
So, do you have any questions about the adjustments?
I had a couple questions about some.
The only question that I have, I don't have a question, just that, just for clarification, is that the adjustments that which you have presented now represent 10%, a little more than 10, say 12% of what the overall adjustments that we would be considering. You're looking at 161,000 versus 1.1 million, correct?
Actually, the adjustments are only 59,000
Oh, 59,000.
of the general
But
fund. There are
but including
adjustments.
the reclasses and others, it comes out to 161,000.
161,000 is the balance.
A balance
Yeah.
From the 234.
with the surplus deficit.
Right.
Yeah,
The 234 and 791 is what we have to operate, that are surplus, and then we take out the adjustments and the reclassifications, so leave us 161
Okay.
in order to accommodate 1.3 million in requests.
All right. Okay. Let's
A
proceed.
couple of questions, Roberta, on the augmentation request. On the first page, under the Ag Commissioner Pesticide Enforcement overtime,
yes.
this is page 1. The statement, the explanation that's there is to have a mileage available when needed. Is this money paid on when it's used? In other words, there's not paid as a salary type thing just to keep them on call?